Can you carry me?
I'm going to touch myself and cast light.
Cyrus, no!
I trust your whiskey taste. I trust your judgment.
So it can speak. We get its tongue now.
I'm not sure there's been an occasion where any of us have been particularly stealthy.
It probably wouldn't have worked, but we should have tried. Why are we so stupid?
I think the lesson from this is that I need to stop listening to you guys.
And it's at this moment we realize the DM is an idiot. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 11th session of As Below, So Above, where we last left our heroes. They had just returned the crystal to the gorge, rejuvenating the listening gorge with all of its life essence, and very much pleasing the, I guess, watcher or keeper of the gorge, Bo, whatever you want to call him or think his role in this is. Maybe he's just some dude that hangs out and is grumpy.
Most likely.
Yeah. But the question remains what the party wants to do next, so the DM will open the floor to you guys.
Well, I think that's two sages down. We still had a third stage, if I remember correctly. There was
We
Yeah.
gotta go. We gotta get the X Club back to Bo, correct?
No, we did that. We delivered it to Bo already. We put it back in. Bo's happy.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
He gave you a spell too last session, Riley, if you don't remember.
Oh, yes. I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Bo's
That's
in
all
the
good.
room with us right now.
Bo is in the room with you right now.
I'm just
Hello,
talking
Bo.
about him.
He actually left you guys a little bit, and he sat a little bit just maybe 4 or 5 asides away from you and appears to be muttering to himself, but you kind of think maybe he's muttering back to the gorge now that it's alive again, because that's what he said he did. So he's doing that peacefully by himself.
Can I try and listen to see what he's talking about?
Yeah, roll me a intelligence-based perception check there, Swap.
You know, just a little bit. I'm very curious what Ooh, the dice. It's gonna be a moment.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're using digital dice.
I am. I still can't find where when I moved, I left my dice, put my dice somewhere, and I have no idea where they are.
Oh no.
It's sad.
So it's gonna.
Well-
I'm probably gonna find them the next time I move, and they'll come out from somewhere.
Or you could buy more dice.
Or I could buy more dice,
There you
and
go.
it was an intelligence-based.
Yeah.
Perception. So that's a 14 on the die.
Not bad. You can't get every word he's saying because he's whispering to himself, but you kind of pick out some words like very happy, hopeless, and love to have you back kind of thing. But it's all kind of little bits and pieces here and there. You're not really able to make anything, but you kind of piece together that he's just expressing his admiration for having the gorge back.
You know, that's fair. That's a personal moment. I'm gonna leave him to it then.
Nice.
Even though we're 4 or 5 asides away, I'll try to take the party an additional aside and whisper.
Sure.
Does anyone think that Bo likes them? Varro, maybe you should go just ask him if he knows where to go for the next sage.
I don't think Bo has any problems with me, nor I with him. I have no problem talking to such a weird gentleman such as himself. And then, like without even like looking at anyone else or acknowledging anyone else, Vera will just make a beeline straight for Bo and say, "Howdy, friend. Now, my other friends and I are wondering, where are the other sages? We have agreed and undertaken a lofty quest to find them and help them, such as we've helped this sage here that we luckily stumbled upon. You wouldn't happen to know where the rest of the sages are, would you?"
As you come up and start talking to me, he's a little bit flustered, like you kind of snuck up on him a little bit, but he listens to everything you said and he says, "Oh, yeah, I could tell you where the other sage is, I guess. Be a lot easier than you just stumbling about trying to find them yourself, but you already helped the one sage, and now you've helped two. So I guess you really just need to find Babel. And to find Babel, you got to go to well, you can go to a few places. Not really sure where Babel is. He's a little bit of a rover, you know. He likes to wander around. He's got a nice place up in the hills and the valleys, and if you go through Echo's Valley, you should be able to find Babel. He likes to hang out on the peak there on Echo's Peak, and also sometimes he's on his bridge, but last I heard that bridge was now the home of a bunch of mean demons. So I doubt he's probably there. You probably want to avoid Babel Bridge, but it might be the only way to get to the peak. Unless you take the
All right.
cliffs, but the cliffs are very dangerous.
Well, thank you kindly. That's very helpful. Now, which direction to the Valley of Echoes?
Well, from here you can't really get there. You're gonna have to go back to Mirage Market. As they say, all roads lead to Mirage Market. From
I've
there you
heard
should
that.
be able to find Echoes Valley.
All right. Well then, Bo, I think we will be off. No reason to dilly-daddle or wait around. We're off to find our sage. Find ourselves a sage.
Nice.
And then I'll return to the rest of the group and say, well, friends, we've been sent on our ways back to Mirage Market. Past that, on to the Valley of Echoes. And then we'll find ourselves a sage, one Babel.
Babel. Wow,
Hmm.
that works for
Alright.
me.
Yep.
And
So-
Babel needs their tongue back?
I think that
Presumably.
was the last sage that we needed to help.
we've-
From
We have
what,
now returned eyes and an ear, or an ear.
yeah. If I'm remembering correctly, I think that's what we've done so far. We're doing great, guys.
I know.
All right.
This
This
is
is
a piece
time
of
for
cake.
a true taste of adventure.
Haha.
Is-
His
is-
tongues? Was that the joke?
Yes.
Ah, I got it, guys.
I am
Nice.
just standing there
Great job.
cringing.
Pharaoh looks away.
Cyrus is just gonna be proud. I got the joke.
I got it.
So you
Evan
guys
Jens
just
has been humorous very much, so seeing the like flat fall, the face plant of his first joke in a while, he's a little crestfallen.
I thought it was great.
Is there anything else we should
Thanks,
ask
Cyrus.
before we go?
Mm,
Well, I've got this map here, and the markings on it that that Buddy sort of drew up for us doesn't really seem to match with, Echoes Valley or anything. Like I've got like something that says Mirage Market goes to CC and then it goes to GB, and I don't really think that that's, anywhere that we were planning on going. So, maybe if Bo would be willing to help us clarify what these places actually are, and if that's where we're supposed to be going.
Yeah, Joe, is he within earshot?
you guys can walk back up to him. He just kind of stayed plopped down where he was, but if you want to go talk to him, you don't think he would really mind too much.
All right.
I'll walk
Well,
over.
Yeah, we'll go
Okay.
back to Bo.
Hey Bo. Yeah, you were telling Vero here where we could be heading next to find the next sage. And I've got this map here. Maybe you could help clarify a couple of points that I'm a little confused on. And I'm going to show
Sure.
the tablet.
Yeah, he takes a look at the tablet and he just looks back up and he's like, "Yeah, what seems to be the problem?"
Well, you were telling Vero that we need to go to Echoes Valley and then on to something else. But, as you can see, like from the map, we've got going from Mirage Market here, and I'm going to point to where it's labeled MM or
MM,
Mirage
yeah.
Market. And then it goes, like, obviously we've gone over this way to like Mount Blood, and that's where we are here. But then like this other route, which I think is where we're supposed to be going goes to these other two places, and I'm not really sure. Is that right? Is that where we're supposed to go?
He kind of squints at it and looks and is like, C and GB. He has a good think about it for a second. He says, "Oh, yeah, I think I know what they're talking about. Whoever made this map for you. It's not very useful not drawing out the full names.
I know it's
I know.
terrible.
But I think you can get there if you go that way. It's just a little bit different of a path to take instead of taking Echoes Valley. Echoes Valley is probably more direct, but I think that goes to Chaos Cove, and if I'm not mistaken, GB is Grove of Bones. So it's really GOB, Gob,
Oh,
which is more fun to say. And
Yeah.
I would have put
Oh
that.
my glove.
No, not Glob, Gob, not Grob either.
okay. So you would recommend that we don't go that route?
Well, depends on how you want to get there. I don't really know how dangerous they are. I don't venture over there too often. I kind of stay here near the gorge. But
Okay.
or Chaos Cove. From what I remember, there's a bunch of lakes of acid around there. Really nasty stuff. Black water. Don't want to go in it.
Okay.
But other
Yeah,
than
that
that,
doesn't
I
sound
just think
good.
there's a bunch of imps.
That doesn't sound terrible. We've
Is that
handled
where
imps
we were
before.
before?
Are you asking the DM or are you asking the
Yeah.
party? The DM can neither confirm nor deny that's where you were before.
But there were a bunch of imps and a lake of
And-
acid, which
There was a
yeah,
bunch of imps in a lake of
Yeah.
acid.
Exactly.
Can Jens look at the map and try to like square it with where we've been and see if it's where we were
You're
before?
pretty darn sure based off what you've heard Bo just say and what you recall from where you guys started that must be Chaos Cove.
Orpheus, I'm pretty
Mm.
sure that must we found each other in Chaos Cove. I think that's where we started off.
that's actually
Huh.
very helpful for orienting. Yeah. What was it? Was it Gorge of Bones?
Grove
Grove.
of Bones?
Grove of Bones.
Grove of Bones.
You know, that
Never
makes
been
less
there,
sense,
but-
so I'm not going to apologize for not remembering that.
Okay.
Do they grow like trees?
I've never been there, but that's what people tell me.
That
That
sounds
or
great.
it's a sculpture.
Hmm.
I
Bones
don't know
carved
which
to
one
look
I'd
like
prefer.
trees, or trees carved to look like bones. He says,
Wow.
anyway, if you want to go to Echoes Valley, I think it's in between this path and that path. And he points to the path you guys took, the hot path, and then the other path that was labeled PP. I don't know if that path got a labeling, but if it didn't, I just labeled it.
Okay.
Okay, so this path that he's showing us now would not take us back through Mirage Market. It's a little more direct.
So he's saying that there are two paths to get to where you want to go. There is the path if you go up Chaos Cove. He's saying there's a way to get there from Grove of Bones, but he's also saying that in between the hot path you took and the path that you took to get to Mirage Market, the PP path, there is a
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I was having a hard time saying that with a straight face. In between those paths, there's also Echoes Valley, he's saying. And he says it should be pretty obvious.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
so along polypath, that's what I have written down in my notes anyways.
Yeah, that's what's written down on my map, so you can have that.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
So along polypath, there is another route to Echoes Valley.
That's right. Or in between there and the hot path. It's kind of like
Oh.
from a map perspective, you can think like there's 3 roads that go into Mirage Market, Polypath, Echoes Valley that you don't have, and then the hot path that you took.
But regardless, we're going through Mirage Market.
Yes, all roads lead to
There's no
Mirage
way
Market.
around it.
Okay, so we're gonna
Mhm.
pick up Echoes Valley from Mirage Market.
You could go
And-
that way.
But I mean, what's the fun
Mm.
of missing out on the Chaos Cove and a sea of acid? That sounds fun, right, guys? A grove of bones where trees are made of bones or
That
something
sounds
like
pretty
that.
cool.
That
Yeah.
one,
Oh,
that one
I
I'm
want to
very
see the
curious
Grove
about.
of Bones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Personally, I like the idea of the Valley of Echoes. I might have to go there, sing myself a little ditty, and listen to the valley sing it right back to me.
I love him.
Well, we'll
Okay.
get there eventually, but we can just like go through the Chaos Canyon,
Cove.
Chaos Cove, and Grove of Bones. I'm sure like it's just a little bit of a detour. Maybe we'll find some people that we can help along the way.
And what was the name of the peak that we are searching again, Mr. Bow?
Well, it's always Echo or Babel over there. Those are the two people that
Echo.
put the name on everything. Echo and Babel. Echo's a jerk. Babel's the sage that you want to help.
What's wrong with Echo?
Hey,
What's wrong with
it's
that?
in one ear out the other with him.
Jens.
Wait, I missed what you said, Riley.
Echo.
Jens. Jens decided to start repeating what Orpheus said. It was very confusing. It was almost like
Like
oh,
an
what's the
echo?
word? Yeah, there we go.
I'm sorry, this is not my role in the party. I don't know what's come over me.
You're allowed to be whatever role you want.
I'm gonna walk over to the party.
Mhm.
I was off playing with my new club, looking for rocks that I could throw up in the air and try to hit really far away, with a baseball bat. I say, I agree with Cyrus. If we find people that need to be bonked, then that would be good for our party. So we should look to see who we can find that might need to be hit with this new club of mine.
That is in
Bo
fact the opposite of what Cyrus said.
Bo says, "Oh,
Yes,
if you see Echo, you should bonk him. He deserves it."
You got it.
I mean, bunk some people, then don't bunk the others. That seems to be how we do things.
It's a way of life.
You just point me in a direction and I'll bonk someone.
All right. It's good that we can
Okay.
trust you and count on you, Samson.
Always.
Well,
Okay.
either way, onwards to Mirage Market. Thank you very much, both, for your help.
He looks at you all and says, "Bye," and then sits back down and starts muttering very quietly to himself.
Thank you kindly.
All
Hmm.
All
right,
right.
Well,
back
that's
the way
another
we
person
came, I
helped.
guess. Yeah.
So I'm a little torn between just retracing our steps, because that might be more direct. Like we've already walked that path.
Well,
But as
remember,
Cyrus points out, finding new people to help and adding some points in our karmic balance, not a terrible idea either.
Also,
we went into a cave and the cave closed behind us, and then we exited here. So we can't go back the way we came.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
There was
Yep.
there was another exit, if I remember. There seemed to be water coming down, if I remember correctly, from somewhere. We didn't explore all the cave, if I remember correctly.
you mean there's a
Mr.
water
Bo,
slide into the cave?
Water
what's
slide or something
what's
else.
the shortest way to Mirage Market from here, Mr. Bo?
The DM is scratching his brain trying to remember. Did the cave you guys exited when you got into that big fight collapse? Because I don't remember that.
No,
but-
the
No.
magic door.
The door sealed
When we
behind
entered.
Oh,
us
that door sealed.
when
Yeah,
we
yeah. Okay,
entered
yeah,
with
yeah.
Randy. Yeah.
Okay. He points back into the cave that you guys came out of with him, and he says, "Hey, if you go back that way, it should be pretty fast." But
All
I
right.
haven't been to Mirage Market and I don't know how long.
We'll figure it out.
Hmm.
All right, back into the cave.
You
Are
can
we
And this
trust me.
party is
confident that
lost
we
for
can
100
just
years.
find a way back out?
Oh yeah.
If not, we can just go back out and ask Bo for better directions. It's fine.
I mean, you guys have me. It's fine. I know the way. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's true. Hati always knows the right way.
So you guys venture down into that cave and
Well,
you walk for a
Right
little
before
ways.
we do, before we
Yep.
do, did we take a long rest last session? Does anyone have any exhaustion levels that need to be dealt with?
I don't think
No,
you guys do because you haven't
I-
gotten in a fight.
I don't think we have since we were last
No combat last
rested.
session.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah. So
everyone's
I think
feeling
we're
good?
Let's
all
go.
good. All right.
All right.
So you guys head off, you walk down the cave for a little bit, and then you see a landmark you recognize, which is Samson's fish sun, and there is all that gold there, and the goo appears to have dried up.
Oh, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
I take a knee and kind of like put my hand on the ground near his remains and say, "Ah, my son, it's like I hardly knew ye. It's like it was just yesterday that we met even, and that almost as if you're actually a fairly new character in my life. Although you are my son."
Would you like to say a prayer with me, Samson?
No, I think I'll just recount the story of his youth. I want to be clear, my son was not always a fish person. He was at once a human boy, much like other human boys. He had dreams and ambitions and liked to play, and he got into a rough crowd and got wrapped up in the opposite of what our family's known for. Rather than heroing, he got into villainy. And I'll never forget the day that he left home and his mother was just crying, saying, Samson Jr., Samson Jr., you can't be a villain. Your father he won't be able to sleep at night. And it was true. I couldn't sleep at night. And it was when we found out that he had some evil questing that had gone wrong and that he had lost his life and been sent down here to the underworld to become a horrible, decrepit fish monster and lose all of his memory of me, his father, that I think I lost my will to be a hero that day too. Nothing
Okay,
was ever the
Samson, I
same.
have a very, very important question for you.
Yes, obvious.
You're just talking about yourself, right? This
What?
is this is your story? This is what
No.
happened to you?
No, my son just was corrupted by the dark side, became this horrible fish creature that's now dead. I told you guys he was my son. I've got many layers, all right? Might not seem that way, but there's a lot going on here underneath the surface.
Okay. Yes, I believe you. This is about your son. And I'm just gonna like do a very significant look over at Jens.
Thank you, Orpheus. Anyways, just wanted to share that. My boy. I hope he has peace now.
Very
That was
moved.
beautiful. That was beautiful.
Does Jens think that Samson is making this up whole cloth, or there's some grain of truth to it?
What are you inclined to believe? Like what
I'm
Jens is a very
inclined-
skeptical person, right?
Yeah. Jens does not think that the fish person was actually his son, but Jens is open to the idea that maybe Samson did have a son that's got in with the wrong crowd, fought on the wrong side, died in a way that would make Samson think he came to this place.
If Samson's willing to lie about his son being a fish, then maybe he's willing to lie about a lot more. So that's kind of what Jens thinks about the whole thing.
That's disappointing.
You know, Samson, this reminds me of one of the tenets of Zoral. You know, patience is one of the core pillars of our belief, and I think that it's important to recognize that, you know, change within ourselves and change in the world takes time, and it's something that we can't see right away. But, you know, just because one is wicked or is evil initially, that doesn't mean that we can change. It's something that will happen, and even though there's loss here today, that doesn't mean that there will always be loss. And even in grief, in this passing, and it must be terrible to feel, but have patience in yourself too. And it's not necessarily going to get better, and it's not necessarily going to be easier, but I think that it's something that you'll be able to be better at managing. Loss is
Thank you,
hard.
Cyrus. Thank you. I think about the mountain, the blood mountain, and how the blood of all who perish is brought back to the material plane. And I think maybe a part of my boy is now gone on to tell new stories. So I thank you for your kind words and for just giving me the opportunity to be here, a part of this adventure, because his sacrifice was a part of that as well.
Of course. We all tell our own stories.
As you guys are having this conversation, you hear the sounds of some stumbling footsteps far into the cave in the direction you're heading.
Well, let's not dally too much longer. It seems like we have company.
Randy, is that you?
It's
You hear-
probably Randy.
You hear a voice shout, "Brother! I thought I lost you in the caves!"
Ah, Randy, you've missed so much of the adventure. I was just recounting the story of my boy and how he was lost, but now somehow found.
Oh, that's so good to hear you found Samson Jr., brother.
Yes, you remember the little scamp before he went off to what we like to call the dark side.
Yes,
He
the
got
dark
into,
side.
yes, he became an accountant. We were all very disappointed.
Oh, the worst possible profession to be, brother.
He just said, I just want to work at the local treasury, and I told him we can't stand for this, but he insisted.
How could you work with numbers when you could work with your fists?
Yeah, we've always been a family of steel and valor.
And there is no valor in a calculator, brother.
I agree. Well, SJ, you're a disappointment, but I still love you. All right, Quest, friends, onward with the questing.
Okay, I
Yes.
gotta make an insight check on this. What is happening here?
I got you there, Emily.
Okay.
Your insight is at least +1, I believe.
I think it might be 0.
Yes, it's 0. That's right. What do you think about this? It's a sad moment, you know, like Samson's mourning the loss of his son and the things that have befallen him for his choices. Kind of makes you think that the choices you make here might be pretty real because of what's happened to someone, allegedly, from what you've heard from Samson.
Do I get the vibe that he's just making more stuff up, or that this is coming from like a real place?
Randy corroborated all the facts pretty fast, and Randy doesn't strike you as that conniving and cunning, so you think it's probably true.
Okay.
So, brother, what, to help us find a way out of this cave or what?
Well, I've been completely lost.
Well,
Mm.
let's find the exit together then.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys realize that he just kind of came from the direction you're going, so he probably got into the darkness and then got lost because it was dark.
Yes, one-way tunnels are very easy to get lost in.
Yeah.
Does
Especially
Cyrus
for
say
Randy.
that?
Yes, he does.
I give him a very appreciative look.
Nice. So you guys keep wandering down the cave, and eventually it exits to the 3 caves that you were heading into before. I think it was either the middle or the most right one or the most left one. One of the 3 caves was the one you went down with.
Does
Yes.
Jens remember more specifically by any chance?
I think the middle cave was the whiskey cave, and I think this was the right-hand cave if you were facing it, because I think you guys went left, center, right. But we could listen back to that session and find out what the heck happened. So whatever happened then is what actually happened, not what I'm saying now.
Yeah, that seems about right. Left, right,
Yeah.
left, center, right. Okay.
Anyway, you guys emerge outward, and then yeah, there's those lava waterfalls that were falling in front of these caves, and you can walk around to the side, and there was a little bit of a scramble to get up to the top of the cave.
Well,
I
up
think
we
we go
go.
up. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Seems like the only way out.
Well, you could always try inspecting the door to see if there's a way to get it to open from the inside too.
Can it be
Nah.
bonked? Does it look
Could
like
be.
it could be bonked?
Potentially. Well, from this
Ooh.
distance, you have no idea. You can't really even see it.
If people don't mind, I'll go have a look at the door.
Sure. Yeah.
I
Don't
think
don't
that's a
give.
good
I
idea.
won't spend like hours on it, but it's worth a glance.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Uh,
I'm not going to bother looking at it. It seemed pretty magical to me and not really my forte.
Did you hear that,
Yeah.
Hunty?
Yeah. Okay. We should go check out this door again. I think it might work now.
Is everyone going
I
to
have a
check out
feeling,
the
a
door?
good feeling.
I'm
Well, I
going to
don't
stay
know
by the
much about
lava.
magic, but I'm happy to tag along.
Yeah.
Okay. Yen, so
Oh,
make
you know
me-
more about magic than me. Right
Yeah.
on, my friend.
I'm like, queued
I'm
up and
very
ready to
confused.
bonk in case needed.
Nope. And
Sure,
then
you
he's just
gotta
gonna
know a lot
he's
about
gonna
magic. Come on,
walk away
Vero.
and just
can't just
whistle
drop
to
that.
himself towards the door.
Come back.
So hands up, who's going to the door? Okay.
Oh, well, if everyone else is going, I'll go.
There's
Always
that
like
peer
a true
pressure.
god.
Yeah.
So Jens,
Classy.
you have all your friends with you, so make an investigation check with advantage.
Ooh, I get to do the rolling.
Well, you're the smart one in the group, allegedly.
Allegedly. Sorry, what am I rolling?
It's investigation, so it's just +3 for you.
Well, we made double digits. That's a 10.
Nice.
Was it with advantage?
With advantage, yeah. 4 and a 7 on the die.
Cool.
Quality.
Well, it's a little dark, and you recall from when the door closed that it was on the outside, so there is the fact that you could potentially push it over maybe, but you do recall that there was the magical runes that lit up and made the door move easily, so potentially you would have to trigger some magical effect here, or if someone had dispel magic, maybe they could just disenchant the door to make it be regular stone and then push it over. That's the best Yen can come up with. There's no harm in giving it one good bonk just to try.
Samson, you want to try and give this a big push?
Oh.
Well, while Samson's a bit preoccupied, I'm just Hati's gonna go just like lean up close to the door and kind of feel it and just like it's like there's something here. There's something here, and I'm gonna do an Arcana check. If that I feel like
So-
there's
Swap, you're gonna do an Arcana check. And yeah, go ahead and do the roll for me.
that is gonna be a 5.
This thing is beaming with magic. You can tell because your hands are tingling when you touch it. And your hands also get a little bit sweaty too. So that's clearly the result of a magical door.
Oh yeah, no, I'm fully
Whoa.
convinced.
What were the things we had to do with the runes on the other side to get it to open?
We
I
had to, like,
think it
line
was
them
just
up.
like, yeah, I was turning a dial, like 3 different dials so that they lined up. Yeah. I didn't
And then
really understand it when we were doing it.
presumably once we lined them up, they like re-scrambled themselves.
I can't see the other side of the door, so I don't know what happened.
You don't seem to recall Jens if they re-scrambled, but you'd imagine if it was a magical lock and resealed, it must have.
All right. Last throw of the dice on this one. Samson, why don't you give it your best shots? And then I will prestidigitate Samson's scalp and face to give him glowing gold hair.
Long flowing gold hair. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Randy, how about you help a brother out?
If Samson needs to see the door to swing it, and you said it was dark, Cyrus is going to cast light on the club so
Nice.
that it glows, and so that he can see where he's swinging.
And Randy comes over to help you out, and he just starts giving you tips on how to position yourself for swinging at the door. He's like, "Brother, you're gonna want to stand with your feet shoulder width apart, slightly bent. Put your elbows back." And he's basically telling you how to do a good baseball swing as you muster up all your
Nice.
strength to bat this thing down with one fail swoop. So, give me
All
a
right.
attack roll with advantage for your club.
Attack roll with advantage, meaning I roll 2.
Yeah, roll 2, take the better roll, and then add
Sweet.
your
I'm
mods.
I'm
as
also
normal.
going to, I know this isn't going to affect anything, but as if the door will obey my commands, I'm going to use magnified presence and say, "You will submit to me," as I swing.
Nice. All right.
16 on the die. I guess it's +3 because of my attack bonus with the crystal
Yeah.
club.
Mhm.
Hell
So
yeah.
that's 19 to hit the door.
Yeah. Nice.
Awesome.
I think that might hit a door.
Just about.
Would be a little weird if I missed.
You
Everybody duck.
ring this door and it just vibrates like the thickest gong you've ever heard. And it starts to crack, and then part of it flops over.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it like cracks in half.
How much
yeah,
of it
there's
is?
enough for you to get through. Like
Okay.
about a third of it fell over, but you guys can sneak through this crack now.
That was
Nice.
amazing,
Uh,
Samson.
Damn.
That was amazing. I pull out a little
Wow.
bit of whiskey and propose a toast to
I do
Samson,
a
the
little bit
strong
of
and
a-
golden haired.
I
You
said
are literally the
I said,
strongest person I know.
I couldn't have done it
Mhm.
without the hair, and then I kind of flip it to the side.
Nice.
Amazing.
Well,
Well,
I
let's
didn't
get
see
out
that
of here.
happening, but okay, cool.
Nice and easy.
Yeah. Yeah, so you guys go through the door, and then it's just a quick hop, skip, and a jump, easy walk down to Mirage Market. There's the little Spitfires that are coming out of the lava rivers, but it's an easy path this side of the caves to walk by. You don't have the little spots where you have to jump between like you did all the way up to Mount Blood. It's a nice leisurely walk, and you guys see the descent into Mirage Market. Would you guys like to descend down, or do you want to see if you can skirt the perimeter of the crater that is Mirage Market to find Echoes Valley? Because I think that's where you guys are headed.
You know, I'm a little wary of whatever it was that was happening in Mirage Market.
I don't like that. I think we should just go around as well. It was,
Agreed.
it was
Good
weird.
idea.
Time felt weird there.
Okay. So you guys skirt around. So you come into Mirage Market. Do you want to go right or left?
Right.
I guess I could have
Hati?
done that this way.
Right.
Well,
Confidence.
based on the map, which way does it seem like we should be going around?
I was gonna say we have a map here.
It
Like-
seems like
Right.
right is the right choice.
Right. See, I know.
How could it not be?
So
Exactly.
wise.
Right is right.
Glad we could clarify with the map, though. I appreciate Ati's intuition, but validation's always good.
Yeah, so you guys wander a little ways, and eventually you see, so kind of how the path you were going by, it had those lava rivers and everything. Eventually they start to kind of fall off, and you get this really sharp, jagged rock that starts coming up, and then there's this deep drop down into a narrow crack between these sharp rocks. So basically you can kind of think you're walking up here, lava rivers here, there's some sharp rock protruding, and then there's this almost like a 10-foot wide path that cuts down maybe 500 feet down into the earth, and you think that must be Echoes Valley. It looks like you could walk on top of it, but it looks like it's completely open and flat on the left side. So you guys are walking along the right, and then, yeah, if you're walking along right, so then the left side, that side looks completely flat, and the right side has all the jagged rocks.
And sorry, one more time. There is
Sorry, I
lava
said that wrong.
flowing.
It just kind of stops. Those were the lava rivers that you guys were walking between when you're going the hot path, and then they kind of stop and are
Okay.
broken up by a bunch of jagged rocks. So I think I've said this backwards, but the jagged rocks are on the right. There's this like cut down into the earth, and then on the left, it's like basically desert cracked rock kind of stuff, like cracked earth. And it
Okay.
looks like those cracks are narrow, but in some places they might get wide, and that might be what forms Echoes Valley, is what you guys all think. Or some of you think,
Interesting.
and then some of you share your thoughts with the rest of the party.
Since eventually we want to end up on Echoes Ridge and eventually Echoes Peak, presumably we try to keep some elevation, and maybe we cut across and get up on that desert side rather than
Okay.
follow the valley floor.
Sure, yeah, you
So
can
we were
walk along the
told
cracked earth.
we were told to bonk Echo if we ever saw him or her or them. It.
They did
Those are all
say
the
that they have a
pronouns, yes.
house
Hmm.
somewhere. Presume it would be a house with a view, so somewhere up.
Do echoes
Yeah.
like a view?
Who doesn't like a view?
You know what?
You're
Fair
so
enough.
right. You're so right.
Maybe echoes don't like views because they need to echo, they need closed spaces.
Like a
Okay,
valley?
is Echo a corporeal being? We really need to establish this. I really get no vibe one way or the other.
Well, Bo did say
Cause-
that we ought to hit him in the face if we see him. So I assume whether he's corporeal or not, he's gonna have a face.
He's at least got a face that we can hit.
He's
Mhm.
hittable. So.
Flawless logic.
Yep.
Okay. Good.
I appreciate that a lot, Vero.
So we stay up and go forward to the left.
Sure.
Yeah.
To the left.
Let's go.
All right, so you guys walk along the cracks there. And yeah, it's this really flat, smooth rock, and then every now and again there's these cracks, and you guys all are walking, and you're looking, and Hati and Jens and Orpheus, you notice that these cracks, while they're at variance between like a centimeter wide to maybe 8 inches wide or something like that, they aren't shallow. These go down hundreds of feet, presumably all the way to where the valley goes. So these cracks go as deep as the valley does. And you guys are wandering along for a little ways, and then off in the distance, some of you see, but all of you hear this painfully loud screech. And you look up and see this serpent-like creature that's flying around in the sky with a couple dozen bat wings along the length of its body, and it's serpenting around in the air and just crying out.
Dang.
Are they saying anything or is it just a screech?
It's just a screech.
Okay.
I bet that's Echo.
You think that's what if
I
it's battle?
shout to it, hello.
You're far enough away that you can't reach it with words. Like it's maybe a mile away from you guys. It's just
Okay, but it's just loud enough that wow.
It's loud and gargantuan.
Okay.
Wow.
Hmm.
Does it look
Maybe we
punchable?
shouldn't.
Does it look punchable? Very much, yes. It looks like if you got up to it, you could punch it.
Okay.
So
And
it has a
you-
face.
Yeah, it has a very very elongated face with large nostrils and sharp teeth. If you didn't know any better, you'd say it's a dragon, but every dragon you've seen doesn't have a body like this. It's very long and serpent-like.
Hmm.
And has bat wings instead of dragon wings.
And
Looking
like many,
around.
many pairs of wings, right?
Yeah. Like a few dozen or so.
Yeah.
It's a very scary creature.
Yeah.
Very
Looking
cursed.
looking around, is
Yeah.
there any way that we could get up to its level? Like on the top of a peak of a mountain or something on the horizon, or
Yeah,
a
looking
catapult that just happens to be lying around?
looking around, Cyrus is scouring the ground to see stuff, but you really don't notice much here. It's a very barren, cracked rock that you're on. Desert might be the wrong word. It's just kind of like dried up earth is the best example I can picture in my head. And then you're noticing around, like scattered here and there, you're seeing little bits of bone and stuff like that.
What kind of
Um,
bone?
Oh, like bits and pieces, like a fish pelvis. Sorry,
Are they
I show a regular human pelvis.
are they like normal sized humanoid bones, or are
Yeah,
they
normal
like
sized
splinters
humanoid
of
bones.
bones?
Splinters,
Okay.
not full intact
Okay.
pieces, broken pieces of bone.
Do they have bite marks on them?
Yes, I would like to inspect these bones as well.
Yes.
Um, who has the higher int between you two? And that person roll with advantage, please, for investigation on the bones.
Got
Emily
8.
and Kara, do you have better than
Uh,
8?
No.
I would also like to investigate.
Jens, would you like to roll
Help!
investigation to gain advantage?
I
You
would love
guys
to.
go over to the
Although
bones, and you're just like, Jens.
my rolling in this campaign is not hot. 21.
Nice.
Oh.
This
Thank
looks like
goodness.
the result of either bones being snapped or potentially being spat out by a very big creature that was chewing on them.
A snake
Like the
creature
thing,
with
like the
bat
thing in
wings.
the sky.
Hmm.
So you guys
Hmm.
were curious if the thing in the sky is maybe responsible for these bones?
You know,
I think maybe.
cool.
See,
Hmm.
We
right
should.
Not
here,
too
these two bones
surprised.
specifically, a great example, really like broken, right here, with this like expulsion, think of like having a big bite of a little fish and then spitting out all the bones.
Wow.
Don't
Okay.
fish come in
Sorry
fillets?
for saying this a little bit quickly. Having examined these bones, I'm getting a little it's a little scary.
So what you're saying is we need to stop this thing from devouring people. Yes, great. Okay, let's do it, guys.
Yes,
How are we going
of
to do
course.
this?
Cyrus, I think
have-
we're gonna die
How
We
do
can't
these
die.
bones fare in terms of
again.
use as a bludgeoning instrument?
They're fragments. They would be very useless as anything except actually nothing. They're useful for absolutely nothing.
Would they
I'm
be?
gonna kind
Are
of
there
like go
any
down
that are
on
like
one knee and kind of look at the bones and say, I don't think that there's any relevance for us to spend any more time on these bones than we already have.
they can't be fashioned into a club?
What about a javelin?
Oh my god.
Actually, Cyrus looks at a
Arrow?
couple of pieces and think you could use it to tip a spear,
Hmm.
but you're not sure how strong the tip would be.
Could you use them as
also-
microliths? So like
As
have the
what?
wooden as microliths. So like it's a stone age technology, so that if instead of having like one piece of stone as a blade, if that breaks, like you're out your whole thing. So instead you
Hmm.
make the center out of wood and you have like a whole bunch of like little ones embedded in there.
Possibly. It would take a lot of time to craft that, but possibly. Again, you guys aren't sure how strong these bones are.
I think
I
we're
mean,
missing
they
a
seem
picture
to
here.
they seem
Grind
to
them up
break
and
already, so that's not
start
very
some sort of
strong.
farm and use them as bone meal.
Yeah.
That could be a
Well,
good use for them, actually. Yeah, you could use them for bone meal.
Phosphorus fertilizer.
So we are
All right.
on like
All right, team, we're pivoting. We're no longer adventurers, we're farmers.
what if that's what the creature up there was doing? They were just scattering the
Varro
bone
teaches
onto
the
this barren land. They were trying to fertilize it.
My friends, I have been a farmer for a very long time, and I've been an adventurer for a very long time. And I have to say, this creature here This ain't no farming creature. And I have to say, Samson, you ain't no farming creature neither. I don't see that in your future, and I don't see it in mine. I think our only way is the way forward.
I go up to Varro
So
and I put a hand on his shoulder and I say, "Nobody knows me like you do, Varro. Nobody knows
That's
me
right.
like you do."
That's right.
Samson gain
great.
inspiration.
Oh,
Just
So
to circle back
uh,
to a question that Cyrus asked about seeing if there's any way to get up high on the dragon's level. So the dragon is very high up in the air. It's like about a mile up and about a mile out. So, you know, about route 2 miles away from you guys. And there's a mountain off in the very far distance, like far enough that you can't really say how far away it is, but it looks to go up even higher than about a mile. And recalling back to what Bo said about there being something called Echo's Peak, you think that might be it, considering there's no other big mountain around. And if you look very far off, kind of to where you were, you think you can see Blood Mountain a little bit. But it's more of a glow and then a little bit of a shadow, or kind of a silhouette, rather.
Okay.
Anyway.
You said we're walking on fairly flat desert.
some
Yeah, I was
cracks
gonna
in
go with
between.
like cracked earth rather than desert. Like basically,
Okay,
if you went to
cracked
somewhere that
earth.
suffered from a major drought, that's what the ground looks like, except the cracks go down hundreds of feet.
So kind of like Salt Lake in Utah.
Perhaps never been, haven't seen pictures.
Yeah, I think that's what you're describing. But the cracks go really deep instead
Right.
of being shallow.
Yeah.
Is there anything in the cracks? Like, if can you see anything living in there or anything like that?
From Yen's. Oh no, you didn't inspect the bones. No one's inspected the cracks. I'll just do a quick one there for you, bud. Oh, good. See, I rolled it and it's good for you. Because I rolled a 15 on the die. Looking down, you're not sure if you are seeing any creatures. You do see some movement, and it kind of looks bony in structure, which makes you think what the hell's going on. But you do recall seeing those boned calipiters a while back, so you're wondering if there's other sort of like insect sort of creatures that are just bone for some reason.
Or if they
Sure.
like grow from the bone shards, possibly.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a creepy thought.
How big are the how big are these cracks? Like, could we fit into one?
About half a centimeter up to 8 inches or so.
Okay, that's what I was picturing, but then figured I'd ask.
Yeah, fair enough. There is, if you guys go about, you know, just to the edge of where that valley was, you see that crack, which is about 10 feet wide, and it's a very sheer cliff kind of scaling off of. But I think you guys have some. Maybe I took the rope out of the packs. I can't remember now. I'm looking to see. No, you
There,
guys
we
have
do
rope.
have rope.
Yeah. So you guys could try and fashion some rope to get down there, but there's a problem of there's nothing to tie off to on this side.
Yeah.
I mean, if we wanted to go into the
something
valley,
I'm
we
going to
could have
mention to
just
the party
started in
then.
the
I
valley.
think. Sorry, Cyrus.
I was just saying, if we wanted to go into the valley, we could have just started in the valley. We seem to have put in a lot of effort to stay above it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we just keep staying above and keep going towards the mountain. We can see the mountain with this way, so
There's bone
know what to
creatures
do.
in there. Has
I am
anyone else looked
reasonably
at the bone creatures?
Should
we
we?
can find it.
Sorry,
We can
Jens.
bonk a few bone creatures.
Yeah.
I'd rather face the bone creatures than that creature.
Yeah.
I'm reasonably confident that I have devised a way between my memory and the book that I found to keep us from dying if we fell a great distance. It's not a great backup, but if all else fails and the thing is coming towards us, as long as we all jump at roughly the same time, and you're all close enough to me, again, I'm reasonably confident we can survive that.
Okay. So
Okay.
we'll start heading towards the mountain, but then if the dragon comes, hold hands and jump into the valley.
Yes.
That
I
seems
trust you,
reasonable.
Jens.
Mm-hmm. Great plan.
Great.
Okay.
Okay, should we follow the valley and like wherever it
Stay close
winds
to
just
the
on the
edge.
side so that we like keep it as like a bit of a path towards the mountain so we don't get lost?
Seems like
Yep.
a good idea.
Let's do it then, team.
All right, so you guys are going to continue on the top of the rocks, but close to the valley so that if you need to, you can just jump into it like it's a trench for cover. Sweet.
Yes.
500-foot deep trench.
Is that how deep it is? Oh my God.
Riley, I feel obliged as a benevolent DM to point out to you that Featherfall is for 5 creatures total. Someone has to literally take the fall. It's because
Oh no,
I think you thought it was you and up to 5, right? And I thought that
I
too. And I was
did.
like,
I
nope,
did.
it's
I
5.
appreciate that a lot. Yeah.
Can
I-
someone be on someone else's back?
As
Hmm.
No.
Does it work like that? Because
No.
you could like hold on. You could hold on though.
But I think
Which
it'd be
does
more
the
like
gravity or the
they would
spell
just
work
drag
out?
the other person down with them.
That's fair.
oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, 6. Okay. I think we'd be good. Assuming it is 500 feet deep, it would take us 9 rounds to hit the bottom, and the spell is good for 10.
Yep. But one person
Uh,
will likely take 1 point of bludgeoning damage, or worse.
Or break all of
worse.
their bones.
Break all of their bones.
As
Should
we're
be me.
going, in
If I'm willing
Jens
to
is like
deal bludgeoning
rerunning
damage out,
through.
I should be willing to take it. I'm sorry, Jens, but it has to be me.
Jens doesn't share
No,
this
no.
out loud. Jens has told you guys that if we gotta yeet ourselves into this trench, I've got us covered. As we're going along, I'm running through it in my head and going, "Oh, so we're gonna miss somebody." Um, and Jens decides in that moment, without sharing with anybody, that somebody is gonna be me.
That makes
Either
sense.
I'm gonna try and just like fall 10 feet and arrest myself, or just go for it and hope for the best.
Oh no.
That's
Oh
amazing.
God.
That is
Thought you were gonna
amazing.
pick one of us and you were gonna
I
be
know.
it was gonna be very funny, no matter who it was.
But that would be the wrong choice to make.
A hero wouldn't make that choice.
Exactly, Clay. Exactly.
Wow.
Beautiful.
So you guys are gonna wander along here for a while, and the dragon, for lack of a better word, it's not really a dragon, it's kind of a dragon, but
Serpent.
yeah, the flying bat serpent with a dragon face is slithering around, and it doesn't seem to notice you. It's kind of moving in and out and about, and eventually you guys get to a point on your travels where you see something scurrying off in the distance. It's like maybe 90 feet directly away from the edge of the valley. And with your guys' sight, a few of you clock. Two of you clock. That is Cyrus and Bear, or not Vero. I want sometimes I think Vero when I think Vito for Samson. So Cyrus and Samson notice that the thing crawling is the upper half of a skelenoid. Like it was severed at the pelvis, and it just has the end of its spine and rib cage, and it's just kind of like clawing around at the edge. You guys can choose to ignore this, obviously, but you do notice this off in the distance.
Hmm. Orpheus, I think you were right about skelenoid bony things happening. It's over there, don't worry about it. But
I don't like that.
yeah. Everyone keep your eyes out.
Should we go help them?
Looks like that idea had legs after all.
Or didn't?
You know,
I'd like it to be clear that Orpheus does not laugh at this, but I am laughing.
I think we can just leave them to their own devices. They seem to be doing okay.
You don't think they need a leg up?
You know, when you say it like that, maybe I should go over and ask them, see if they need a hand.
I
Well,
think
they've
I
Can I
already
need to
jump
got
into
to.
that situation with both feet?
You're taking all the
Oh,
good
boy.
puns.
Don't worry, I'll cut any like lag we have between getting puns, so it seems like we're quicker on our feet. It's like, wow, these guys are so witty.
It's just banger after banger after banger.
Exactly.
I don't know.
So you guys are going to ignore the skelenoid that seems to be halved.
I would like to go
Well-
see if he's okay. I feel
Okay.
like that would
Does
be.
does
There
he
would
seem
be no sport in bonking him.
yeah.
Sorry,
No
Does he
Cyrus,
sport
seem
what
like
was
he
it?
whatsoever.
needs help, or does he seem like he's looking for something to chew on?
I mean, he probably needs help. This looks like a particularly bad case of being cut in half.
Fair enough.
Oh, I love you, Joe.
I knew you'd appreciate that.
Speak English, dog. We ain't scientists.
Hey, Vero, see how this skelenoid is, maybe he's going in circles because he can decide where to go.
Did you say decide? Decide?
Maybe he will femur it out.
Hey.
Oh my gosh. Look,
Boy.
I'm gonna cut this off at the knees, okay, guys?
Guys, come on.
bet
There's
that
no
was
need
a
for everyone
fibula.
to be so humorous.
What are we doing?
So we just make pun. We just go over to this crippled skelenoid and make puns at him.
I think Cyrus just saying foot truly
Yeah.
kills Jens.
Foot.
I want to participate, but I couldn't think of any funny jokes. I'm sorry.
Well, those puns
well,
really got me, guys.
All right, well, but no, we should actually go and help the guy out.
you might know a thing or two about where this here Echo Mountain is, and if it is that mountain off in the distance.
And he might have firsthand experience with the serpent.
Don't know if you want to hear that.
Wow.
Why is that the funniest thing out of all the puns?
He's still got both his hands. It's not a pun, guys.
It's in the radius of a pun.
It's within a foot or two of a pun, yeah.
Oh, we got there.
Yeah, leave it to the bone doctor to outdo us
All
all,
right,
in
all right,
bone
but guys,
puns.
when we go and talk to this guy, no one put a toe out of line, okay?
There it is.
Not
There we go.
there.
We're all just sitting here thinking of the names of puns so we can make more puns.
Look, I'm okay with you guys making puns, just don't step on anyone's heels, okay?
Absolutely.
No.
That's not the expression, and you know it.
Isn't it?
Goes.
Don't step on anyone's toes.
I think,
what
you
the
know,
fuck
just-
am I thinking of?
Joe's just saying everybody needs to get an opportunity. Throw a guy a bone here.
We should really stop dragging our feet about this and keep going.
Okay. One more bone pun.
And then we'll take a knee on it.
There it is. Okay, that's
Wait,
it.
wait. This seems to be a bone of contention now. Sorry.
Quality.
You said one more and I disobeyed. I apologize.
I just want to pause the session for a second. So my friend has the Dark Knight on in the background, and right after we ended the jokes, I looked up and the Joker walked in, and the subtitles, he was like, "I thought my jokes were bad." It was just perfect. One of those perfect
Beautiful.
moments.
Quality.
Okay.
Quality
Well,
stuff.
so you guys go over to the skeleton.
Yes.
Okay. He's just kind of like scurrying around, and as soon as you guys get close enough that the skeleton notices you, his eye sockets widen and he starts scurrying away from you guys, almost as if he's frightened of you.
Oh no, no, it's okay. It's okay, buddy. You can we're not gonna hurt you. We want to help.
Probably.
He's still scurrying away from you. The thing moves at
Wait,
20
wait.
feet around though, so you guys can easily catch up.
I'll try and catch up to him and just like just trying to follow him essentially and just be like, wait, I want to ask you some questions.
What are you gonna do? Grab his spine?
No,
Be like, what?
no, I'm just trying to talk to you. Like, where are you going?
Can I play a soothing tune?
Yeah, you can play a soothing tune.
I'll whistle
He-
along to that.
He looks up at you, Conrad, and you notice that this skelenoid is missing the jaw, and
Oh.
he doesn't say anything and just keeps scurrying away.
Okay, hold on. What if we point you in the direction back to Mirage Market? That's where you want to go, right?
Keep scurrying away like that's not where he wants to go.
Don't
I can't
think
I
he's
can't help
particularly
you, buddy.
interested.
If you don't tell me what's wrong or communicate some way.
We can
As
get
you're
you some
s-
flesh.
As you're all saying this, and that particularly juicy line, you
Juicy
notice
flesh.
you notice a crossbow bolt come out from 90 degrees from where you guys were coming and hit the skull of this skelenoid, cracking it. Appearingly ending its movement too. You
Was the
look off.
crossbow bolt? Or sorry, carry on.
I was probably going to answer your question. So
I think so.
You look back and you see a individual with a wide brimmed hat, kind of dressed in a little bit of a Robin Hood sort of gear, and yeah, holding a light crossbow. Probably the person who just fired the bolt. And he quickly, with a swift motion, just holsters the crossbow and then starts walking over to you guys. Without saying anything, he examines the skull. You can tell he's looking at the teeth, and then he just kind of like says, and tosses it away. He looks at you, tips his hat, and then he starts wandering away because he didn't have anything to say to you. But I'm
Wait,
assuming
wait,
the
wait,
party's
wait,
going
wait,
to try
wait.
and stop him. So
Yeah, with a big howdy, stranger.
Yeah, that's a cool dude.
Lend me your ear for just one moment, if you would.
well, certainly, there's no reason not to stop.
What brings you around these parts? You seem to be searching for something. We ourselves are also searching for something, and maybe we could help each other.
Well, I'm looking for some gold. What are you looking for?
We're looking for a tongue.
Ah,
But
probably
we
can't help each other then.
well, we can help you with gold if you can help us with some directions.
Ever hear of some fellas named Echo and Babel?
He takes off his hat, revealing you guys can see that this is a elf-ish humanoid, also undead like yourselves. And Riley, you recognize this individual from your past. Not a part of any religious sect, but as being a seafaring individual, you met quite a bunch of different wayward folk. And this was someone who you'd find in ports occasionally, and they were a sort of a scout, but also a trader. They basically traded in a lot of different rare to find goods, so a lot of different hard to get materials. This person would go out scouting for them. So You know
Did they
this
run their
person by the
own
name Lorenzo.
Lorenzo? Did they run their own
Lorenzo.
ship?
They were never the type to want to own something like a ship. They would just be hired on to cruise, and they were all over the place. Yeah.
Okay.
He had taken some
Lorenzo.
jobs with you at a few times, but never stuck around, didn't care for your crew. You guys always got
Okay.
along though.
Yeah. Lorenzo.
Jens, fancy seeing you here.
Yeah, unexpected.
Well,
Uh, if we have time later, I wouldn't mind asking you a very short questionnaire. But for the moment, do you know either Babel or Echo?
uh, Echo, I've been warned about, and he looks up at the big serpent thing in the sky as Orpheus correctly identified earlier. But yeah, just confirming that for y'all. They say if any fool is gonna wander around on top of the plateau here, these steps, they're risking their life. But people are gonna risk their life. I'm gonna hunt down, try and find some gold that anyone drops. So far, I've only come up with a few.
Any safer passage on the other side, pointing to the spires and rocky terrain?
He says, "Yeah, if you continue for a little ways up here, you come to the junction, and if you're trying to get up to any gestures to the mountain, you'll probably want to go left at the junction."
Left at the junction to get to the top of the mountain.
Yeah, you were never afraid of a good fight, were you?
No, until I lost
Well,
an important one.
well, don't lose this one. You should be fine.
Yeah, there's words to live by.
If you take the right path, there's no fight, but I imagine you don't want to swim through water that'll corrupt your soul, so I'd
Yeah,
avoid it.
probably not. We've run into that a little bit already.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with it at sight or by touch, but from what I hear, if you go into it, that's just the end of it.
Thank you for
Well,
that.
We don't have
I
souls
take those
right now
warnings
anyways, though.
not so lightly, but sorry, Cyrus?
We don't have souls anyways right now.
Sure you do, they're just not here.
Oh. Point taken.
Do
Don't
you have a
underestimate the
soul?
link you have. Sorry, Orpheus, what'd you say?
Lorenzo,
I said sorry, Orpheus, what'd you say?
Oh, I asked him if he had a soul.
It says it's kicking around in one of these layers, trying to get it to come up here, but so far no luck.
What's gold gonna do to help with that?
Pass the time. I used to
Fair.
collect gold when I was alive, so it's all I really know what to do. Figured someone will want it. Figured someone will give me something for it. That's how it always works. That's how it should work.
I'm sorry for asking this, especially so soon. Obviously, we're just on the clock a little bit. How did you end up here?
Ah, fell off a boat and drowned. I know, silly. Been in the water a dozen times, but wrong current took me under, and that was the end of it. Held my breath for 10 whole minutes. 10 whole minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Didn't matter.
Yeah, the things you've done 1,000 times and get complacent about, that'll get you.
Yeah.
There's never the jumping between ships or running along the oars. You're focused for all that. Nothing to it.
No. One wrong step, and that's the end of you. Some people die in
Anyway,
glorious battle. Some people die in a tragic falling off a boat accident.
When did you fall?
Uh, shortly after I saw you last, actually.
And does Jens remember when that would have been in relation to the fall of the city?
Potentially about 6-ish months before you died.
Oh, okay.
You never heard of his passing, though.
Right, which makes sense. What was the news of You know, our old ports of call when you fell. Uh, I mean, what were the big news items of the day?
I'm just gonna roll to see if he knows. Big news of the day. It'd been a while since I'd been to town last, but I'd heard there was a large heist pulled in Sunshore, and a lot of people lost a lot of stuff. So I was soon to be hired to go see if we could scout out and find where the thieves had stashed all the loot, but it was on that voyage where I fell.
Got it. And I don't believe we talked about this while we were alive. A little funny given my occupation, but I tried not to, you know, make it anybody else's business. What god or gods did you follow?
I was never really one for religion or gave much thought to it, but I met some sailors that worship some gods of the sea, and I said a few prayers every now and again, but you know, money was always my biggest motivator, and that's kind of the god I live by.
Well, thank you for that. Listen, if you're just looking to pass the time, do you want to walk with us? We're searching for our souls.
He gives it a think for a while, and he says, "You know, as much as I'd enjoy some company, I think it's best if I just stay here and keep doing what I've been doing. If you guys need anything, though, you know where to find me. And if I hear anything that could help you out with what is it you're doing exactly? Maybe I could keep an ear out. I tend to hear a lot of stuff, so you know."
There's a three sages were attempting to help. We were told that if we helped them all, it would lead to us regaining our souls and maybe a trip back to the material realm. I don't know if I totally believe it, but kind of take the best bet you can in these kinds of situations. So we're on the
Well,
third and the final one. We have to return a tongue to somebody called Babel.
oh,
Allegedly,
well,
Babel is on this Echo Peak.
well, I have heard a
Or
few
near
things
it.
about the sages, and I have heard a few things about the troubles that they've been going through, but I don't know who told you you would go back to the material plane, because that's probably got a few more steps to it. I think if you help the sages, that'd be good for goodness sake, honestly. I've heard that they're pretty important around here. They help maintain the they help maintain the fabric of the multiverse in some way that I just really don't understand.
I've
As far as going
I've
back to the
met
material
a couple of
plane,
the sages. I don't know if I understand either or believe it, or if it's
I
fanciful. It's hope.
could be. All I know is few people I've talked to have said that things got a lot weirder when this whole disarray happened with these sages. As far as a tongue, I've actually met Babel once, and Babel Babel wasn't missing a tongue. I think, as funny as it is, I think Babel is missing her eye. I know it's really weird seeing a beholder without an eye, but you know what is it? I guess they listen with their eyes. I don't know.
Run that
Or
by me again.
they speak with their eyes is what I meant to say, not
Just go
listen.
go back and just run that whole sentence for me again.
Sorry, beholder?
Yeah.
Well, you knew her.
Definitely things Samson would say. Yeah, she's
That
an all
doesn't
right
seem fair.
person, but I think
You've
sorry.
you've met Babel before?
Yeah, Babel wanders around these parts, comes in here every now and again,
Hmm.
but ever since the whole deal with the sages. I really only seen her the once. I don't think she makes her way anywhere near Echo as I think Echo took it.
Echo took the eye?
I think so. I
Hmm.
don't really know. I don't know if you've seen Echo. I'm not getting anywhere near that.
Fair enough.
Do you know if Echo has a home, a lair?
He kind of looks over to the peak and just kind of gestures. Well, he hangs out
Hmm.
there.
Uh, Something that'd be useful for us at the moment. You don't have an old spyglass on you, do you?
Spyglass.
Yeah, a little telescope.
He takes out his bag, which let's see who's gonna recognize this. Ooh, a lot of you guys. Actually, everyone but Jens recognizes this as a bag of holding that he's pulling out. And he kind of like sticks his hand way in there, rummages around for a little bit. You can hear a bunch of glass clinking in there, and he pulls something out. He's like, "Oh, I guess I do." And he hands you a spyglass.
Oh, well, geez, thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, you pick up things every now and again. That's what beats. That's what the great thing about being a scavenger here is. There's so much stuff to find.
Lorenzo, I can't thank you enough. This has been a very helpful conversation.
Well, I'm
Uh,
glad I could help, but you can always repay the favor if you see me again. I wouldn't mind some gold. Looking for some gold.
Uh, well, I pull out my little flask of whiskey and um, I take a sip and then offer some to him.
He takes a sip and's like, "That's pretty good stuff."
It was pretty good stuff. It was a good find. I told you so.
Man.
And when I passed him the flask, I tried to palm him a gold piece.
Nice. He takes it and it's just like, "Yeah, nice."
Seems
Cool.
fair.
Nice. He tips his hat to you guys and starts wandering off.
I'd like to just like quickly run after him.
Sure.
Be like, why were you harassing random skelenoids?
Oh, sometimes they have gold teeth.
So you were killing them to get their teeth?
He, he looks like off, darts his eyes side to side. It's just, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go tell Cyrus.
Cool. He continues wandering off. I'm gonna tell you to Cyrus.
as an aside, when Orpheus tells me, I'll just have a little whispered conversation with him, like, "Oh, that's kind of weird. That's not very nice either."
No, I
Hmm.
think that, Jens is pretty sensible most of the time, but I think he's trusting this guy a little bit too much. He's just wandering around here killing people to get their stuff.
Yeah, that's not great. And it seemed like we could have helped that guy. Like,
He didn't have legs, he was dragging himself around.
yeah, it's very sad. Well, if we run into him again, maybe we can set him on the right path, and I'll tell him a little bit about the teachings of Zoral.
Yeah, I think we have to do something about this guy at some point, but I'm not
Yeah.
really sure what right now.
Maybe we need to keep an eye out on Jens too. Like, he seems to be so skeptical about everything, but then he's just so trusting of his friend. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, especially when this guy was so obviously sketchy.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
All right. Well,
Okay.
thanks for telling me.
Yeah, I thought you would want to know.
So Emily and Conrad finish up their conversation. You guys walk for a little ways and stumble upon a cliff. So these steps have ended that you're walking on top of, and the valley kind of opens up. To the left is this large, large, large body of water that you presume is Echo's Lake. And then to the right, you see a steep decline, but it's not a sharp fall off. It's more of a sloped that you could probably walk down, but maybe you'd slip. It's kind of reminding you of that little gully you had to scramble up at the top of Mount Blood, except there's no blood. And then it
What
seems to go
is-
back up. And in between there's kind of this valley that's carved by the just slow descent of the mountain, which you don't know the name of it, but you know the peak's called Echo's Peak, so maybe it's Echo's Mountain, who could say? And then you're starting to notice this weird fine rubble that forms there, and the bottom kind of cresses and then slopes up to the hill that's over on the left side. So lake over here, mountains over here, valley in between, and then cuts up to the mountain.
So we were told to go left. Does this count?
We were told to avoid the water.
The water's to the right. If I said left earlier, I misspoke.
Okay.
Okay, that makes
Good.
more sense.
Okay.
Phew. I was like, does
Yeah.
Lorenzo not know his lefts and rights? What?
No, I don't know my lefts and rights.
Cool.
So straight, if I understand correctly, then straight on right now is going to kind of take us into part of the valley, which then goes up Echo's Peak, Echo's Mountain.
Yeah, it seems like this
Left.
hill over on the left and the mountain
Yeah.
kind of cut a valley.
Okay, so going left up onto that hill would not help us get onto the mountain because we still have to descend into the valley.
That's what Jens thinks, but looking in that direction, both Hati and Orpheus notice a very faint, thin line that runs from what appears to be the top of the hill to part of a low-lying ridge on the mountain. Presumably, this is a bridge of some kind.
Shit, I think we should go that way. I just point towards that.
Yeah,
As soon
there's
as it's
a
pointed out, you guys
little
see it.
bridge.
Nice.
Nailing it
Flick
as
open
usual,
the
Hattie.
spyglass and have a look up there. Do I see what they're pointing out now?
Yeah, for sure.
Could that be the ridge that Bo warned us about?
What did you say again?
Oh, the Echoes Bridge where the demons or something have taken it over?
Yeah, I thought he said ridge, not bridge with a B, but the way it's situated, it's sort of functioning like a ridge.
Well,
I
let's
will-
go and find out.
I will clarify, Riley. I did say bridge with a B when he was talking about that.
Okay,
Yeah, I heard bridge too.
Mm-hmm.
Babel
cool.
bridge.
It can be canon that Jens misheard.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, but I thought no, there's audio issues, so it could have been that it sounded muffled, and maybe I slurred my words.
Okay.
So I mean, Bo warned us against it, but Lorenzo said the left path was better, so maybe that's
He
the way we
also
go.
said something about you not shying away from a fight.
Yeah.
You just conveniently forgot about that part?
Shying away from a fight.
No, like that there's something up there waiting for us. I mean, if you wanted, we can go if you want. Just be aware.
Sorry,
Everyone-
was distracted at me.
No, I'm talking again, sorry.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
I'll share with the group. I rolled a quick just like RP insight check on myself, and I rolled a nat 1. So
Beautiful.
no, like Lorenzo was a really good pathfinder. I trust him a lot. I don't know. Straight on doesn't seem to make much sense. We obviously don't want to go through the water. I think that's the way we should go.
Okay. I trust you and your trust of friends. Let's give it a shot. I support you in your decisions.
Should we?
Sure.
I don't know.
This is
Like, is it? Didn't That's what Bo warned us about?
Well, I wouldn't say that. Bo told us to go to the bridge, and then he said, "Oh, the bridge may be covered in demons."
That's
He
fair.
didn't seem
Yeah.
all that concerned about the demons on the bridge.
Yeah,
I
Yeah, it's
mean,
probably
we've
fine.
dealt a
surely
fair
had-
share of.
He surely had no better path than the bridge, so
I'll be honest, there have been some times where it seemed like Bo didn't care about us a whole lot either.
Yeah, that's true.
well,
Surprisingly self-aware of you, Cyrus.
if my choice is losing my connection with my soul, such as it is, such as the tenuous grip I have left on my soul, if I have such a grip at all, if my choice is between losing that and fighting demons on a bridge, I will fight demons on a bridge until the cows come home.
You're so right, Vero. You're so right. Ugh,
Exactly.
You've convinced me
so
wholeheartedly.
wise.
Mm-hmm. Fully convinced. Oh, I always thought that was the right way. So yeah.
Of course, Hachi. All right, so to the left.
To the left.
To
So you
left.
guys start descending down this sloped but still steep incline. Everyone can go ahead and roll me an athletics check to see who's going to walk down and who's going to stumble their way down.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
Constructed 0.
15.
Nice.
I'd be
Nice.
concerned if you rolled a 0 there,
15.
Orpheus.
I was just saying that it wasn't a natural one.
So who got
Okay.
strictly less than 10? Hands up. Okay. You guys all slip and stumble your way down this mountain unceremoniously, not very gracefully. Everyone else seems to be fine, including Randy, who's still with you guys, but not saying much. Except when you guys talk about a fight, he starts to get really excited.
I was
Yes,
gonna ask
Jens.
about Randy.
I feel obliged to mention that I rolled a second nat 1 in a row and I have -2 to athletics. So if the GM wants to like, no, that doesn't work and also diss me, then yeah, play it honest.
Wait, what do you
Man,
want
what is
me
the
to do with
average
your
roll of the
-2?
people who rolled?
So I gotta, all told, I hit a -1 off of a nat 1.
I'm impressed.
I rolled
Your
a 0 and it
failures are
wasn't the
epic in
worst.
kind. You rolled a 0 and it wasn't the worst. Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, Barrow's stumbling his way down this, but you guys are falling on your ass and on your face multiple times. Not taking damage, but it could have been better. Meanwhile, everyone
Hotie's
else
gonna
is
be.
sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hotie's gonna have a little chuckle while he's like,
Are you guys okay? Do you need a hand?
they're fine.
I would love
We're
a hand.
fine. We're totally fine.
I would love a hand.
I will give Orpheus a hand and try and help him down the rest of the mountain.
Can you
Yeah,
carry me?
Sure, I can carry you.
Thank
Hop
you.
on.
With being carried by Cyrus, you're no longer falling on your face.
Amazing. I feel much better.
But you are now falling on your
Gotcha.
pride.
Yeah, that's fair.
Something has
Jens, you
to
may
be
not have a
rewarded.
pretty face anymore or an unbruised bottom, but you still have your pride.
Do I?
I know. I was about to say.
That
Well,
was a perfect response.
who's to say? As you guys get to the bottom of this, more or less unscathed, you notice that the valley that is beginning here as you start to climb up this steady hill is coated in bone fragments and bits of skeletons. It is a complete the ground is completely covered in it. It's a little distance away from you guys, so you don't have to you're not walking on any, you're still on solid rock ground.
Well,
But Cyrus
Orpheus isn't
and
standing on it.
Yeah.
Still got Orpheus. I'm still carrying Orpheus. It's fine.
Cyrus, Jens, Samson and Orpheus all notice that some of the bones are moving.
In an earthquake way, or like they're moving of their own secret?
Oh, do they have their own will, or do they just vibrate a little?
Unclear from this distance. If you got closer,
Well, movement usually means life. Do we want to try and sneak by the moving bones?
What moving bones?
Over there, there's bones that are moving.
Oh
you
shit.
see this now.
Oh, maybe they might be magical.
You know what? It's probably living.
I mean,
And life is a kind of magic. I agree with you.
That's so wholesome.
yeah, it is magical. You're right about that. I'm starting to, how do you want to admit it to everyone else? But it's like slowly starting to being swayed by Zeral. It's like, this is
Yes.
some.
The first member
Cyrus has so many members, but
in this
first
plane.
member of the party.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
So do you guys want to go investigate the moving bones? Or do you want to travel up the hill that appears to have no barriers or obstacles in sight? Aside from the serpent dragon that's in the relative area.
Okay, I have a thought here. I think that if we try to go further, these bones are going to attack us. I feel like if I had to guard this sort of thing, that's exactly like that'd be a smart thing to do. And they're like,
But they're not in our way right now. Like, we can leave them. So what are they doing over there?
very sneaky.
Vero looks down towards the pile of bones. At this point, he hasn't seen that they're moving, I guess, and just tries to get not a closer look, but a clearer look at them, to see if they look like discarded bones from an animal's feeding ground, or if they look like some sort of malevolent collection of bones, that have banded together or something like that.
It's hard to tell from the distance. It doesn't look like these are bone fragments in the same way that you saw earlier. They're not like splintered little tiny pieces of bone. These seem to be still mostly intact. Maybe some are a little cracked here and there, but you're seeing parts of skeletons rather than fragments of bone here.
Right. Okay.
Possibly could be a dumping ground. Could have been something else. Maybe this is a sort of mass grave of some kind. It's really hard to say.
All right. Makes sense.
And Jens, you wanted to look around with your spyglass?
Yes, or the first question, as the terrain has changed as we're moving into this new area, what do we now have for cover and escape routes if the dragon comes down on us?
You could go into the valley that you didn't take here, because now you're on that level. It's just maybe 100 feet. No, be about like 200 or 300 feet away from where you're going. So you guys are going up the hill right now, and it would be back the way you came. Once you're going up the hill, you're pretty exposed. In the valley, you obviously could try and duck under some of these bones for cover. You think that would be decent cover. And then looking on the mountain, it looks to be much more traditional in a sense than Blood Mountain was, i.e., it's not covered in blood. So it's got that going for it. Looks more like a mountain. And you do see little like alcoves of rock, possibly some caves that go into it, but it's hard to make out even with the spyglass you have because it's very far away. But
Okay.
you're seeing lots of
still quite far away.
texture and definition to the rock. So you're
Okay.
inferring from that.
Periodically, as we approach the mountain, I'll pull out the spyglass again, specifically looking for a lair, some kind of cave or nest that could fit the thing.
Yeah. Are you guys going up the hill or are you going into the valley towards the mountain?
I think up the hill to connect to the bridge was the plan, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Mhm.
And we are leaving the bones alone, right, team?
Yes.
Nice.
Don't mess with the whatever. We
Leave
don't need
them
to deal
a
with it.
bone.
Aha.
No, that was no.
It was a little forced, but I appreciate it.
No.
I'll put you down now, though. And,
No.
Did you appreciate it? Did you really?
I mean, it was okay.
As you start going up the hill, you can see off further to the left that the steps kind of peter out in that area and it goes down into another sort of valley. And you can't really see what's in that valley, but looking up ahead, the rocky nature that you're used to of walking through paths where there's kind of this jagged rock that cuts path changes a little bit as you get closer to the top of this hill. You're walking for what feels like a little while, and the rocks seem to get a less hard texture to them. The color stays similar, but the texture looks a lot softer, a little bit more dermal than you'd expect.
No, not this again.
More dermal than I might expect.
I
would
wouldn't
expect
expect any
zero
sort of
dermal.
yeah.
Not more dermal than we're used to.
Or maybe
I'm
that's
sorry.
not entirely fair to say, since we've been in the underworld. All the big mountains have a dermal quality.
I would hope for no dermal quality.
Minimal
also-
dermal qualities.
Exactly.
This also extends to the ground too, so it's a little squishy.
On a scale of rock to human flesh, how dermal?
About a 5 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
It's a little harder than walking on a. I'm not going to finish that sentence.
So it's kind of like callus.
Sure.
I don't know.
Was it flaky?
I don't know either.
Is it like,
Mm.
It's just
at
got a
least it's not
texture to it
slimy.
that's not. Yeah, it's not slimy. No.
Is it like
Yet.
lizard skin?
No,
Kind of
it's more like
texture
humanoid skin.
What
Yeah.
color is it?
The color didn't really change, so it's still kind of this burgundy color that the rocks are, kind of like a brown burgundy tone to it.
So Joe, you lied. You said that it was a normal mountain. It's not a normal mountain.
You're on the hill. You're not on the mountain yet. It's hill, valley, mountain.
The mountain's
Uh,
perfectly normal. It's the hill that's the problem.
It's just this
If we
weird
run-
hill.
It's
If
the
we want to
skin
run
hill.
into Lorenzo again, maybe we should tell him that he just needs to come to this hill and harvest the skin rock and then sell it back in Mirage.
Yeah.
It's not a bad
That's
idea.
Yep.
Yep.
Beautiful.
You
Creepy.
can't leave that in the comments.
Yeah,
You
you
gotta
should
say that out loud.
Yeah, you should say that, Bear.
Sing it.
Vera wouldn't say that.
Accurate.
All right, well, that will just be a mystery for everyone then. And moving right along, you guys are still walking up this hill, and you get to almost where you think the bridge would be, and you start seeing these very large worm-looking creatures crawling around on the path. They haven't spotted you. They appear to be gnawing on one of these protruding flesh rocks. There's 3 of them. And they look like enlarged, like sort of caterpillar-esque kind of bugs, but they're skeletons. And they're larger than the ones that you saw in the cave before. They're maybe medium-sized in size. And they have these large pincers that they're using to eat at the rock.
What does it look like, the rock, as they eat it? Does
Oh,
it
you
look
know, it
like they're
looks
eating into flesh? What's
as
underneath the dermal layer?
it seems like they get to a certain point and then move on, and you don't notice a there's no blood, obviously.
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 There is no obviously here, Joe. Try again.
There's no blood, obviously. And under the certain layer of dermal tissue, it does get to a hard bedrock, and then they kind of move on. So they eat maybe about like this much or so off of the rock, a few inches or so, and they kind of move on, scaling it. They are like, if you tried to walk past them, you're not sure how these things see, if they have eyes or not. You can't see their faces, but you're pretty sure that your presence would be noticed if you tried to sneak past them, at least on the
What
trail.
direction are they trending? Like if we just wait, are they gonna move themselves off?
It seems like they're pretty fixated on this rock, and given that they've only eaten a small portion of the flesh off of it, you think they'll probably be here for at least another. You're not sure how long because of how time's been weird for you, but maybe like an hour or so, which maybe you could wait out, but you don't know which direction they're going to go, either towards or away from you. Actually, yeah, you're not too sure, but there was flesh on the rocks this way. You're not sure about the other way. So maybe they came from the side off of the trail, or not. You're not sure.
Could we go off the trail and go around them? Does it look
Yeah,
like
so
there's enough room that we could avoid being detected?
if you try and climb off to the left, it's more jagged rocks, but you guys can always try and climb through that. It's just very difficult terrain to move through, and you're not sure what's hiding on the other side of those rocks. And then to the right, it kind of slopes down into the valley. It's a gentle slope, so you can walk over and go into the valley that way. And maybe try and get a little bit of distance by going down part of the hill a little bit and then coming back up.
I think that might be a better solution. Just veer off the path into the valley for a little bit, come up around, avoid these
Yeah.
guys altogether.
Mhm.
They kind of look like bottom feeders, but they're big bottom feeders.
It's
That's
probably
not what
for
I
the
thought you were
best.
going to focus on. I thought you were going to point out that we've run into sentient feeling people who have been cursed to look something like this.
Cyrus, am I understanding you in that you think that these creatures feed on big bottoms?
I'm not really sure what this ground is like, but this could be one big bottom, so maybe.
This is probably, as opposed to Blood Mountain that we were on, this is Big Bottom Mountain. I see.
Big bottom hill.
Big Bottom Hill. Exactly.
Yes. The mountain's over there.
Right.
That name might confuse people, though. They might just expect the hill to have a large radius at the base.
You're right. Let's think about it and come up with a better name.
That's clearly our priority right now.
Exactly. I'm like,
Jens, to answer your point, I mean, we can definitely go and talk to these people, but they seem to be happy doing their thing right now. They don't seem to be in any distress or
I mean, I don't think we have anything to help them with right now. So around, I think, is the best bet.
Okay. Let's do it.
Everyone roll me stealth checks.
ooh.
Oh,
11.
Do we get disadvantage on stealth with chainmail?
That's a good question, Swap. Maybe.
Not helping
It's-
myself.
It's heavy armor. So possibly. As I flip to the page where armor is.
Don't think it's gonna matter much.
You are disadvantaged.
Well, in
I
that case,
already got a 1.
I got a 2.
Oh my God.
I'm still at 11.
I got a 7.
I got a 16.
Ooh.
What a waste. What a waste.
I got an 18.
What a waste. So who got a 1 or less than 1?
Oh, no, I got
Nice.
2.
Oh, okay. Well, who got less than 5? Okay, that's enough. So everyone walks forward and then veers off to the right, going down the hill a little bit. And it's fairly sloped, but you can still walk upright. You think if someone pushed you and you didn't have your right footing, you could roll a little ways down the hill, but you wouldn't fall and suffer a lot of damage. So you guys wander off just so that you cusp the hill so that your head can't be seen by these guys, presumably. And the first few people to go are pretty stealthy, including Randy, who's still with you.
He's just
And-
there.
And
He's just
then
there.
Hati and Vero start wandering by, and Vero is trying to be very stealthy, but can't help himself from whistling a good tune.
What do you expect? It's
And
a beautiful day.
Hati, who's so infatuated with the music, is just kind of chanking along on his chainmail as he walks trying to make a beat. And everyone please roll initiative.
It's like both of us are just vibing, and then the rest of the party just looks behind at us like,
Excuse you?
Like we were supposed to be stealthing. This is not
That's too
stealthing.
wholesome. I can't even be mad. That's just jeez.
So I have
Wow.
the map set up over here. And by set up I mean there's a grid.
On Discord we go.
Who is the higher dex between Varo and Cyrus?
-1.
Yeah, I'm also -1 and
So
8
it'd
score of
be
8.
Barrow who is in first then.
And Samson, what is your dex modifier?
I think it's 1.
Okay, then you go before me.
Sweet.
So the flat
All of our
wall
stuff
here
is
is
still
just kind
brittle,
of-
eh? We never fixed that.
Oh, shoot.
Is it
I
brittle
was-
or brittle?
Bridal.
All
I was
of our-
supposed to be
bridal.
fixing
For the bridal party.
every long rest. I'm supposed to take some time and fix some of our brittle equipment and turn it into non-brittle equipment.
One of these times, Vero will remember.
It's like half of my cantrips. That's all it's good for.
All good.
Oh, good indeed.
Gotta make sure we got the good painted minis for this. If they're gonna be on camera, they gotta be painted.
Of course.
So we have a skeleton worm. You can tell looks like a skeleton worm, right? Yeah.
Looks exactly like a skeleton worm.
Second skeleton worm again. Looks
Also
exactly
looks
like a
exactly
skeleton
like
worm.
a skeleton worm.
Yep.
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 Mm.
And you guys guessed it. Third skeleton worm looks exactly like a
Mm.
skeleton worm.
Wow.
Spitting
What a
image.
skeleton worm.
Are they size medium?
Yeah, they're size medium. That's why I picked these minis.
Mm.
So because you're on a slope that is sloped, you can move normally. However, if you move normally, you do need to make a DC 8 athletics check to not fall prone. You can move at half speed and you will not have to make a check.
Hmm.
But it
Okay.
is not steady ground, so if you try and move hastily in combat, you could fall. And if you roll a nat 1, you might also roll a little bit. Cool.
They see me rolling.
Nice. And I'll just give the bad guys a roll here. Perfect. They go at the top of the round.
Come on.
As they should.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's all they'll
So
get.
the three of them,
Yeah.
the three of them all make their charge. And this one is going to hit Orpheus.
That's so disrespectful, honestly.
It reaches out with its pincers. And your AC is 11.
Yep.
Okay, it misses. It misses with the pincers, but then it takes its body and whips it around like a U shape to try and whack you with its butt. And that does beat your AC, so I'm going to need you to take bludgeoning.
Okay.
And I also need you to make a DC 8 dex save.
Bludgeoning.
Hey, come on. That is an 11.
Then you're good. You managed to
Woo!
hold your footing and stay steady here on these hills. Same thing with that is Samson in the middle there being attacked.
This is because I
And-
said butt bludgeoning, isn't it?
That this this creature bites down very hard on your leg, and you're going to take a point of piercing damage. And
Gotcha.
then it is going to try and attack you again with its buttocks. And this time it misses, but your leg stings a little bit with this piercing. And I'm going to need you to make a DC 8 Constitution save.
Uh-oh.
Oh, indeed.
So 17 minus 5 is 12.
Nice, you succeed. It stings a little bit, but
Suck
it
it.
doesn't seem to bother you too much.
Nice.
Nice. And because I totally have my monsters pre-made and written down. I did say DC 8 con save and DC 8 dex save, right? Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds all right.
Cool. I'm glad we're all on the same page. I just want to make sure that I wrote things down correctly. And then Cyrus, one's gonna try and attack you and miss with its pincers, and then swing around to hit you. And this one knocks you with its butt, and you'll take some bludgeoning damage from that. And then also DC 8 dex save.
All right. Yeah, so I rolled a 3 on the die, so that's gonna be a 2.
You are knocked prone
Cool.
as this thing swings around with a swiftness and a might about it and just knocks you off your feet. And
Fun.
then with that, it is Orpheus. Orpheus, you may hit the duders.
Do you mind pointing out which ones are which? I forgot.
Yeah, here. They won't concentrate on anything, so. There,
And
the
the
ones
way
with
you
the
set
rings.
up the stone there, that represents like the crest of the hill.
Yes. Yeah. So if you get to the
Cool.
other side here, you're back on the path. And if you can't quite see, this is 2 squares of distance.
Okay, thank you.
Do you guys think that Fairy Fire would be a good call here? I could hit 2 of them. And then everyone would have advantage.
Honestly, that would be pretty good.
Sounds like a great
With
call.
Fairy Fire, does it also mean that they would have advantage on us if if we're part of it?
Only if we're in the area, but I think I can cast it such that it would not hit us.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna try that.
Do
I'm
some
gonna
fairy
try to
fire.
hit I'm gonna try to hit the two that are closest to me
Okay.
with the 20-foot cube, and it's a dexterity save.
Awesome. Dex save of
11.
okay. Oh, that die's gone. Fail. Okay. That guy failed.
Yay! Okay, at least it was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Am I technically engaged with them right now?
Yes. Both you and Samson are technically engaged. But you can move to here or here without leaving its area, is what I'll say. Just kind of moving around him like, aha.
I'll stay where I am.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay. That takes us to Vero.
All right. You know what I'm gonna do?
Ray of Frost.
Barrow's gonna cast Ray of Frost at the
Yeah.
nearest guy.
That's gonna be this dude.
All right, and that's a 13.
Okay, 13 to hit. That'll do it.
All righty, then 3 damage.
Nice. Yeah, you let out this chilling ray that hits him and appears to do some amount of damage, but the thing is still up.
But he can barely move.
That's right, -10.
Mm-hmm.
And would you like to stay where you are there, Vera, or would you like to move around somehow?
I think he'll just stay there, given that the attention is on his friends.
Yeah. And with that, it is Cyrus of the Houses of Roll.
Right. Yes. Well, Cyrus is prone, so he's gonna stand up. Lovely. And then he's going to take one step up the mountain and swing his sword at the guy
Nice.
trying to hit him.
Do it.
17 on the die.
Yay.
I believe that's a +2, so that's a 19 to hit.
19 just hits him.
Nice. Phew.
Yeah, this guy's actually wearing full plate.
Oh, yeah, of course. With
Yeah.
the shield.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So hit with the long sword. That's going to be 2 slashing damage.
All right,
Alrighty.
respectable.
That's minimum damage.
Golf clap. Golf clap for the
Still
2
respect.
damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. And then as a bonus action, I'm going to parry to up my AC.
Alrighty. That brings us to Samson.
I'm gonna do some battle courage. So add 1d4 to my attack roll, and I'm gonna try to hit one of these guys that's closest to me with the crystal club.
Okay. So you are right here. You got your pick of this guy or this guy. The one in the purple has fairy fire on them, which means your advantage to hit them, I believe, right, Emily?
Yep.
Okay. So I do my attack roll twice, and then I also add the d4 to that.
Yes. Important question. Are you wielding this with 2 hands?
Yep.
Nice. Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
roll 2, take the better.
Oops. Oh, 20, baby. Nat 20.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice, nice,
the
nice.
first bonk.
The
Critical.
first bonk
So-
is always the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
I
First box hit
believe
deepest.
Take Cat Stevens.
I said a while ago you could take the average and then do another roll, or you could do 2 rolls. Was that right? Does that sound familiar to people?
Don't recall.
Okay. Well, if you want, you can take the average and then roll a second die or just roll 2 dice. So your normal damage is, I think, 1d10. You could roll 2d10 or take 6 plus a d10 roll.
Oh, dude, gotta roll 2.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
guy. And then there's also a +2 on that. So it's the 2d10 plus 2.
Ah. Okay, 9 plus 2. It's 11.
Hey.
On number
Nice.
2 gets 11 damage. Oh, that's sweet. And he's stunned.
And because I
Third
did
ring.
Battle Courage, I can make a second weapon attack against the same target as a bonus action.
That's right.
Right.
And you're still advantage because of Fairy Fire. So
Nice. Here's a question. So, great weapon fighting, when you roll a 1 or 2 on a damage die for an attack you make with a melee weapon, I rolled 2 there. One was an 8, one was a 1. Can I re-roll the 1?
yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Sweet.
So that was for the 11.
Another 8. So the 11 becomes 18.
Yeah. Okay. Then don't worry about the second hit because he's dead.
Nice.
As Samson
Super
just
bonk.
beats
Beautiful.
the living hell out of this thing.
Dude, it's his first time using the club to actually hit something.
Yes.
Oh, it
Hell
was just
yeah.
waiting for this.
I mean, you obliterated a door. How hard can a little worm be?
That's what I was just thinking.
So Jens and Orpheus are close enough to see this destruction of the bone worm, and you think, I see how some of these fragments must have been made. As the creature is just
Mhm.
shattered into a bunch of fragmented bits of bone. And that is Hati's turn.
Okay, I will try and follow up on Samson, and I'll also use Battle Courage and attack the one closest to me.
Doot, 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 doot. Yep, go ahead. I'll also give you advantage on him because of how everyone's placed around him.
Okay. Oh, let's see. That is a 21 to hit.
That just hits.
Just hits?
That
Yeah.
one's also wearing full plate and a shield.
Just he put it on right before
Yeah.
the last.
Yeah, they have a special ability where they can don armor as an action, so no big deal.
Ah, yes. No big deal. Perfect. And Battle Courage. All right, perfect. So it's just gonna be 1d8 because I'm using it one-handed.
Mhm.
And that is a nice 2 damage on the roll plus 2, so 4 damage.
And you don't have great weapon fighting.
I do not. I have the pole arm master, but
So
Uh,
4.
and because of Battle Courage, I can do a second roll for that.
Yep.
Again with advantage.
Yes, the tactics haven't changed, so
So that's gonna be a 15 to hit.
that'll also hit. He took off the plate and shield.
Ah, yes. Oh, let's go. Max damage. So that's gonna be 10 damage.
Ooh, it did. You just crushed this worm. What are you wielding again here? You're wielding
The battle axe, so I just
Battle
chopped
axe,
its
yeah.
head off.
Nice, and it tumbles down the hill. And he's dead.
Yee.
And with that, it is Yen's turn. Jens, are you gonna let the
Cool.
party down and have them go to a second round of combat?
With the way Jens rolls, probably.
Yeah, it's just the one guy that's engaged with you and Cyrus.
Cool. point a hand in that point a free hand in that direction, looking in the spell book in the other, back to the bone dust with your brethren, and I will cast Toll the Dead on this guy. So he's
I
got to
believe
make
that's a
a
range spell. Or no, it's save.
yeah. So that
Nice.
is a Wisdom saving throw for
Oh, these guys are
Worm.
so wise. Succeeds.
Cool.
Man,
Yeah. The bells of death toll this individual in a plane where he's already dead, so the bells don't ring as much truth. It's like, yeah, I know where I am. Come on.
Notices that nothing happens, does double take that nothing happens, goes back to the spell. Oh, missed a bit of fine print.
You
Does
must
not work on
prefer
skeletons.
you must prefer Enter Sandman. It was a Metallica joke.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Sorry.
Sorry.
For whom the bells toll.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Just for me and Vito then. Okay, so it is now the skeleton's turn, and he is going to try and attack Cyrus. Failing at biting you. He's going to try whacking you, fails at biting, or fails at whacking you, and then yeah, that's the end of its turn. Go ahead, Vero.
All right.
Or sorry, not Vero, Orpheus. I skipped
Okay.
Orpheus in the initiative.
Finish him.
Finish him.
Shove it down the hill.
I'm just gonna say something to the effect of, were you actually trying to hit or just doing some sort of dance move? And then he has to make a wisdom save.
These guys are so wise,
He's-
Emily.
He's so good at
wise.
wisdom saves.
Fails. Roll
Yay!
damage.
Do you want to know how much damage that does?
2.
1.
1 damage. But he has disadvantage on his next attack if we make it there.
Nice.
Oh, well.
Now it's Pharaoh's turn.
All right. Gonna go for Ray of Frost.
Yeah.
That is a 20 to hit, not natural.
Yeah, that'll definitely do it.
For 1 point of damage.
Nice. You guys are
Let's
consistent.
go.
You're nothing if not
Yeah.
consistent.
Okay, the Bungas will come in.
Cyrus, our paladin. It is your
Cyrus
turn.
is going to move around the skeleton so that I can push him downhill. Because he's like a round little guy, right? Not
Yeah,
a
like a
little guy, but
cylinder.
like, yeah,
Seems
like
like such
cylindrical
a
enough that
bully
like,
move from Cyrus, the noble paladin.
well, I don't want to like kill him,
You're not like
but I need to.
just smite him respectfully. Don't send him tumbling down a hill.
That's so
I'm
disrespectful.
I'm
It's
letting
just
him
disrespectful,
keep the
exactly.
rest of his undead life. I'm giving him this one chance to survive. I hope he takes it.
All right, mister, this is your last warning.
Yep. So I
Roll the
guess that would
shove.
be, yeah, an attack roll shove.
Yeah, shove and then to knock prone, so that you can try and roll him.
Yeah.
I let you kick him as a bonus action just to see if you can get the momentum going afterwards. If you want to try that,
Okay.
like shove
Nice.
and kick.
Yeah. Like
So
knock him
noble,
prone and
kick
he's
him while
on
he's
his
down.
side and then just see if he tumbles.
Yep.
Okay. That's gonna be a 3 to hit.
Well, it's an opposed check.
Oh, I thought the shove was an attack roll.
Nope. Shoving and grappling are both opposed checks.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is there's a chance I could roll worse than you,
Nice.
but I didn't.
Wow, that's fair. All right, guys. I guess he didn't want to go down the hill. Have at him.
I'm going to say, Cyrus, please, this is how you show mercy. And then I kind of like overhand.
Yeah, you go up there and then wield that thing with 2 hands and give a big bonk, Samson. The biggest of bonkas.
12, I think.
Biggest donkus.
That
Biggest
hits.
bonkus, sorry.
Biggest bonkus.
Nice. Uh, 7 damage.
Nice.
You crack the skull of this thing. It looks incredibly hurt, but it's not done. You knew the other ones were done because their bodies poofed into bone dust and then a little ether floated up, like it normally does when you kill things. But
Okay.
Samson has brought this thing to near death. So Hati,
Yeah,
finish him.
mercy. I'm gonna go up to him, and yeah, we definitely need to show its mercy.
You're gonna need to do an
After-
athletics check to
yeah.
not fall.
I figured I may have to do that. Okay, I think I'm okay. Let's see.
DC 12.
That's an. Oh, I thought it was 8.
That was for something else.
8 was for when they hit you.
The saves.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Got an 8.
No.
No.
As you wish.
You move your 15, and then as you try to move the rest, you fall over.
I was so excited. It's like, oh, show mercy. Oh, shit.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Didn't practice running on the side of hills in the Fae, I guess.
No, there's not that many hills there.
No, apparently not. That brings us to Jens. Jens, it's come back around to you.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna try and cast Toll of the Dead again, but this time I'm gonna remember the last line of it.
It helps to read the whole spell.
It
I
helps
know,
to
I
read
know.
the whole spell. Let's go wisdom save. All right. Jens's die. You're starting to think that this thing is not afraid of its own death because it's just like
Maybe it's immune.
You saw it get hurt from the words of Orpheus, so you're not thinking it's that wise, but it that's fine. All right, now it's its turn again.
Oh my god.
It's disadvantaged.
It is disadvantaged.
Hey.
So it is going to look around, seeing that it is cornered on a bunch of sides, and this thing starts to eat at the ground and digs 10 feet into it. This does not provoke attacks of opportunity from the people around it, as it
And that's
burrows
with
down
being
into the ground.
That's with
Sorry?
being slowed.
It's slowed by 10 feet, but this is an ability it has, so it doesn't count towards its movement. But yeah, it burrows down 10 feet into this hole, and yeah, like it's trying to run away from you guys, but that's its whole turn. So it's in a hole that's about small sized in width, but it goes down 10 feet, and this thing is just kind of filling that hole. You think if you could still shoot at it with stuff from where you're at, you just have to get over the hole. Or target it with saving throw effects.
Or
Anyway,
I
that
mean,
is
it's 10
Orpheus.
feet down, so like jump in.
You can't fit in the hole, it's small sized.
Oh, I thought like typically you
The
could
creature-
squeeze into.
The creature, oh yeah, I guess you could squeeze in, but it would be very tight.
You're like a Winnie the Pooh situation. We'd have to get Cyrus back out.
Well, Cyrus isn't the one jumping in. I was thinking maybe one of the smaller, like Hati could jump in.
Yeah. I'm not
Um,
on my ass right now.
It is Orpheus's turn.
I'm gonna mock him for running away. He has
Nice.
to make a wisdom save.
Nice. I'll use your die. Oh shit. Succeeds. Maybe it's being in that tight corner of the earth. It can't quite hear you.
Maybe it's just really wise.
Maybe it's
I'm
just
gonna act like I succeeded.
nice. No one can tell the difference. So, Vero, it is your turn. You're standing over this hole. Or no, you're not. You're way
No,
you're way the heck over
I'm
there.
really far away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how?
Sorry, I look
how
at
far?
you are one.
It would be a
two,
full
three.
move, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd actually be more because you're gonna have to go. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you actually can't get there without dashing because you'd have to move through someone, and that would eat up
Hmm.
your. Like you would end in the same square Jens is in.
Okay, so I'll just do a half move and get closer.
Yeah.
And I don't think I have anything that will help my friends. No. Nope, so that's it for me then.
Okay, that is Cyrus.
Um,
Melee weapons won't reach, but if you have a ranged weapon, you can try firing it in the hole at disadvantaged.
I don't. Can I try and like find a rock or something and just chuck it into the hole?
Yeah, but you'll use your action to search for a rock.
Ah. You know what? Guys, let's just let it go.
Is that what you do on your turn? You look for a rock and just say, guys, let's just nah.
Yeah.
I
Alright.
couldn't find a rock.
I couldn't find a rock. Guys, let's just not worry about it.
And with that, it's Samson's turn.
Can I pull out my great club, which weighs 20 pounds, and drop it down into the hole? Try to crack this thing in the head.
You can, and you're sure it'll do some damage, but it won't do the damage of the great club. It'll just do the damage for an object falling.
I'm pretty sure it's almost dead though.
Yeah, you can try that. Yeah, you can try dropping your great club on it.
Sweet. What do I have to do?
Can you miss?
I don't. No. I'm thinking like you don't need to roll anything. I'm just thinking like it's probably like I'd say it's a tiny object. So I'm thinking it'll do. Will it do any damage? Is the question I'm trying to answer to myself.
I think it's the heaviest thing that I'm carrying.
You know what? Let's just say you drop it and it does a little bit. It doesn't do very much, but it is enough to kill this thing. It was at 1 point of damage left, so I was like,
Nice.
it
It does the minimum amount of damage.
does the bare minimum amount of damage.
Bard, who is so skilled with words that their words can shape reality, doesn't kill it. Wizard with the fabric of reality at his fingertips doesn't do it. Dropping a heavy thing does the trick.
And just take out one of my great clubs. I was gonna get rid of this anyways. I've already placed it, and then just drop it down the hole.
Oh my god.
Cyrus is just gonna have walked back up onto the path.
Yeah.
Just like, peace, guys. We don't need to deal with this anymore.
I call out, "Don't worry, Cyrus. I've killed it. It's all good."
mean, it looked like it wasn't gonna hurt us anymore anyways.
Don't worry, friend. I killed it.
Cyrus,
All right.
Cyrus, are you okay? Do you want me to patch you up?
I mean,
Jens asks with like a bunch of rock and gravel still stuck in his face.
that'd be nice. I'd appreciate that.
Can I make a medicine check on that?
You got it, boss.
Cool. 11 on the die.
I believe it's DC 10 for this stuff, if I remember correctly.
I think that's what I remember, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that will do it. So remove one type of damage. And as it is just the action, Jens, you get to make the call on what you're removing.
There's only the one.
Okay, well then that makes it
That
easier,
one.
doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Bludgeoning it is.
I'm gonna like when I see this happen, I'm gonna like aggressively be like, I can't believe Cyrus was the only person who was injured. I can't believe that was the case.
Can I see if Orpheus is injured?
Orpheus, you took bludgeoning damage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a big yellow bruise on the side of Orpheus's leg.
Hey Orpheus, I've been meaning to show you this medical trick for treating bad bruises and internal bleeding on somebody's leg. Do you mind if we run through that now real quick?
Does this have
You
to
can
do
just
with the humors?
Of course.
Oh, yeah, I'm always ready to hear about the humors.
Okay, great. And then uh in the process of like pretending to teach Orpheus how to treat internal bleeding, which is of course sanguine traveling to the wrong places of the body. I would like to make a heal check on Orpheus.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll that medicine check.
Ooh, that is an 8 on the die. Are we making medicine checks with intelligence?
Yes, we are. So I believe you should pass.
Yes, I do. Thank goodness.
Nice. Awesome.
Yay.
And that means Orpheus is also healed, and you guys all get back up onto the path. So
Yeah.
you see that a couple of these rocks had been stripped by these worm creature things. And the flesh was eaten off of the rocks down to the ground. And they
And
had
they're
done
just
about 4 or
rocks.
5 of them.
They're
Yeah,
just
they're
rocks
just
underneath.
they look like just rocks. Yep,
How
just
thick
rocks.
is this?
How
How
dermal
thick
are
is
they?
this dermal layer?
It's like 2 or 3 inches thick.
Okay.
Yep, thick skin.
hmm
Tough as rocks, these rocks.
What?
And sorry?
What?
What? Classic.
So you guys are walking for a little bit further and you see more of the same, these rocks and stuff, and you've got it pretty high. Now you're on the plateau of the hill, and just in cusping to the top, you see off in the distance the bridge. However, there's something peculiar about this bridge, and you can't quite put your finger on it right now. And I'll tell you about it next session.
I bet it's a
Of
flesh
course.
bridge.
Yeah, it's a person like doing a backwards arch.
No, it's made out of like hair or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.